George Adam with maximum 6 minutes, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I'll try to be as succinct as possible in order to let other colleagues in. I know you're laughing there, I promise. It's already been mentioned today that 657,000 Scots are carers, and no doubt every one of us know individuals who care for someone. In my own area in Renfrewshire, that's 24,087. I myself, I know members are fed up listening to my own personal circumstances, but I myself, one of my colleagues just said that, I myself look after my wife who has multiple sclerosis. I'm technically her carer, but she would probably tell you I have difficulty caring for myself. But luckily, I have a support mechanism within my family which enables me to be able to work and do the job that I do. And part of the reason I'm here is because of the support mechanism within my family and the fact that my wife, Stacey Adams, is not going to allow something as trivial as multiple sclerosis to stop her from gaining any of her objectives that she wants in life. But it's important because when you look at other people who have to work in the private sector or in the public sector as well, they too they don't always have that support mechanism. And if I can talk about someone in my own, she's already been mentioned a couple of times here in my own constituency, Lynn Williams worked for a caring organisation, but she is able to do that because her employer is extremely flexible with her so that she can look after her, care for her member of her family. And I think this is something, when it was a manifesto commitment of the SNP to actually have the carers kite mark for employers, it was something that I was extremely interested in. And I know the Minister is working with officials for a scoping paper for discussion with these interests, and they'll come back with that at a later date. But I think it's something that we definitely need to make sure that all third sector, private sector employers do look at this, because most people that look after, most carers do want to work, and it's only because of their circumstances that they've found that they can no longer work. But Michael Matheson, the Minister for Public Health, it's important that we get all these things right, and I've got every confidence that we will, that we'll progress with the implementation of the carer strategy. But some of the things I'll just go through with the Caring Together, the recommendation, developing a carers' rights charter is extremely important for the individuals, and implement measures to better identify carers, which is extremely important because there are a lot of people who will be invisible and people will not know, because, as has been mentioned earlier, it's a natural thing for families to take up the burden and actually deal, because they don't see it as a burden. They're just looking after their own family member. And it's to improve quality and uptake of career assessment and support plans, speaking about what I mentioned earlier on as well. But to ensure carer representing in community health partnerships, I think it's an extremely important thing, because this will be a way for them and a lot of the Renfrewshire's Carer Centre and the carer centres have been mentioned elsewhere to actually help design the packages and what is available for their members within their areas. And I think that's important as well for us. I think getting it right for younger people, we've got to put in place measures to help professionals in education. I particularly liked the Minister announcing the pilot areas for young carers authorisation cards. In fact, I know you've already got one, but I wouldn't mind, with these 24,000 people in Renfrewshire that are caring, if you possibly thought at Renfrewshire as a place for the young carers as well, because it is an issue. Even though we're identifying, I've got Sandra Webster, a woman that has two the autistic sons, and her daughter is in 6th year, and last week she was actually brought in front of the headmaster and accused of being a truant because she was helping her mother, yet the school knew about her position, the authority knew about her position, our MSP knew exactly about the position they were in, and we shouldn't get ourselves into these kind of situations where that young woman is obviously looking after, trying to get our academic qualifications, while at the same time she's trying to ensure she can help her mother, who has admitted that she could not do anything else without her being there. I'm also, may remember when we were having the campaign, we went to Renfrewshire's Carers Centre and there was all the carers there. I was confident in the SNP's manifesto, but I did say to people, we're dealing with your lives. You are the individuals who are dealing with this in a day-to-day manner. Yes, I have problems in my own life, but I'm not in your shoes and I don't have to live your life. All I can offer is that I will do all I can as your representative to get your points across. So I'm going to try and close quite quickly, Presiding Officer, saying the most important part of this debate is the human element. We can shout at each other, which we haven't done today, from opposite sides of the chamber, but we must remain focused on the people who are living through these issues. Young people, older people and family members. I always mention my own personal circumstances because they've made me the man I am. And it's important that I can say, even in this debate, I'm not important in this debate, none of us are important in this debate, it's the individuals who are actually dealing with this that are important, and the outcomes, what we achieve from this debate, that are important. Because I want to live in a Scotland where its people attain everything they can. And, Presiding Officer, I believe that after today's debate, that we can work together to achieve the goals for Scotland's carers.